So we have a drink. Even though we don't drink much anymore, we decided we'd have a few drinks before our
bit of
Q&A
liquid
sesh.
courage.
Yeah. So we finally got around to filming our Q&A that we're meant to do after we got to 1,000 subscribers. We're now almost at 4,000.
But they shot up really quick. It wasn't our fault.
Yeah.
Like we got 2,000 subscribers in the last
couple of weeks, didn't we?
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Anyway.
So don't blame us. Blame you guys.
Alright, I've got the questions written down on my phone. So, first one is, how and why did you start travel vlogging?
Are you asking me?
You can start.
Well, I used to make little after movies back in the day. We did a Europe trip and I used to film everything on a GoPro and...
Like 6 years ago about, hey?
Yeah, a long time ago.
We were only like 24, 23, 24.
Yep. And used to put little like montages together and that was it. No like talking or vlogging or anything. It was just kind of after movie-ish.
Yeah. And then when we came back from a music festival, super hungover, because we were still quite young at that point, a few years ago, we decided to binge watch some YouTube. We're just laying in bed and then we found this guy previously that was sailing and we're like, oh, we should try and find him again. So anyway, we searched around, found this guy, started watching his episodes, and they're actually named Sailing the Vagabond. I'm sure you guys know who they are.
I don't think they would have. I'm not sure if anyone's heard of them before, but they're quite good, quite entertaining. Watch them.
Yeah, so we binge watched like all of their episodes. At this point, they were still living on their monohull, so they were kind of a little bit newer. Maybe they've been doing it for like 2 or 3 years or something. And then we just decided that that's what we wanted to do. We're like, stuff this. Yep, we're doing it. We're gonna quit our jobs and move overseas and buy a boat and...
Yeah, really set the seed. Set the seed?
Set the seed? I've never heard of that before.
That really... What's it called when you put the seed in the ground and then make it grow?
Planted the seed.
Planted
the seed. Oh, God.
Alright. What gear do we use for video and photography?
Oh, we forgot to get the stuff out. So for all of our underwater action kind of stuff and even some of our talking, because it's easier, we use GoPros. So we've currently got a GoPro 9 and a 4 or something like that, an old one.
7, I think it is.
Oh, that's our backup. We can't actually use that one underwater because we've broken like a few of the little bits and pieces on it. And camera, what do we use for the camera? Which we can't show you guys anyway because we're filming on it.
We've got an ancient camera. It's like the first mirrorless to exist, I think. It's an A6300. Sony.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's got no in-body stabilization, so we've got to use a gimbal with it. So we use the Ronin SC with it, which is great together.
DJI, the brand.
Oh yeah, sorry, I got to say brands too.
Yep. So yeah, we've got a camera with the gimbal, and then we've got a couple of lenses. What have you got? A 16mm and a 30mm lens.
Yeah, but we mainly use the 16mm.
Yeah, we pretty much always keep that on. And then we've got an ND filter that sits on the outside of that, so that's kind of like camera sunglasses, which you can adjust. So that helps with lighting and everything. And then we've also got a Rode mic, video mic, which if you guys have seen our previous episodes, it's not really that great for sailing. It's supposed to be a really good video mic, but obviously not cut out for the wind.
It's probably good in here right now, but...
Yeah, for in weather like that, it's not so great. So obviously we've dealt with like a lot of crackling sounds and haven't been able to use some footage because it was so bad, you couldn't hear anything we were saying.
But now we've got a dead cat.
Yeah.
On top of the camera.
So it's like the fluffy thing that goes on the outside. So that
looks like a cat's tail.
Seems to be working though, doesn't it?
I think so. We haven't really put an episode with this out yet.
No, we haven't really kind of filmed too much out sailing yet in the wind with it, but fingers crossed. And then drone, we've got DJI Mavic 2.
The first one, Mavic 1.
The first one.
Mavic Pro. But it seems to do the trick. It's a really good drone. We haven't crashed it yet.
Fingers crossed.
touch
Oh,
wood.
we get so nervous. Well, I don't fly, Jason does, but he gets so nervous every time. It's not easy to, like, you know, kind of fly it over the water, let alone having to land it back on a boat, trying to watch out for the mast. And then sometimes you forget to take the...
Sometimes it just turns on automatically. So when you try and...
What is it called?
The obstacle avoidance.
Yeah.
So when you try and select, like, to follow the boat or something, it'll turn obstacle avoidance on, so it misses things. And then when
then it won't go anywhere near you when you want to land
it won't go anywhere near the boat, so 2 meters away. So you got to kind of reverse it back in.
So it can't see what it's doing. It's got
so then
eyes.
you got to watch, you know, then you've got to watch the head sail and the mast and...
Because you can't actually see it then on your little, like, camera remote thing.
Yeah, and you got the wind against you and you're motoring and there's...
Yeah. So that's why we haven't done much footage of us when we're actually moving on the boat, because it's just really, like, it's sketchy to do.
We can't afford to buy another drone yet.
Yeah. But anyway, we've got all of the links for all of our camera gear in all the descriptions of our videos, so that will link you guys to Amazon. We do make a small commission if you guys click on the links and buy anything on the website from there, but it doesn't cost you guys anything, so help us out by doing that as well.
We also lost our GoPro Hero 9 for a couple of weeks there.
Oh yeah.
Filming with the 7.
We thought that it got stolen out of our tender, and we're like, oh my god, I can't believe someone would steal it, because we kind of had it like, it was accidentally lodged kind of under our tender floor. And Jason's like, oh, I remember seeing it there, and then we couldn't find it, and he kind of searched like everywhere he could under the tender floor without actually taking it out. And then a couple of weeks later, we had left the tender in Bodrum in Turkey, and for some weird reason in Turkey, little kids just love to get inside your boat, sit on the outside of it, play around on it, whatever. And we came back, and our tender was like full of pebbles. And we kind of looked over and we knew these kids had been in the boat, which we were really pissed off over, because we had to tip the tender over and try and get all the rocks out, which we kind of made it obvious that we were annoyed about it, because...
staring at the parents, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And they're just like looking away, like...
Awkward.
No care in the world, really.
Yeah, you could tell it was them, and it would have been nice if they kind of just said, oh, sorry, we didn't notice that they were doing it, or whatever. Like...
But this wasn't just a little bit of rocks, this was like the whole tender full of rocks.
Yeah, which obviously you could pop our tender as well if there's sharp rocks lodged in there, and we get in and squish it, and... Anyway, so we kind of tipped it over, and then when we got back to the boat, Jason decided to take the floor out to get the rest of it out, and he found the GoPro! So it was kind of like a blessing in disguise, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, very lucky.
Yeah.
So, we're very thankful for those kids in the end.
Yeah, but there is a few episodes, if you guys remember, we went to a place called Black Island, and we couldn't actually film any underwater shots, and that's why. So, a bit annoying, but anyway. What year model is your boat?
So we have a 2002 Genu Sun Odyssey.
Sun Odyssey 40.
Sun Odyssey 40.
Yeah,
so
40
foot. And it's a great boat. It hasn't done anything wrong by us so far.
Apart from the normal kind of maintenance stuff, hey? Like,
Yeah.
we've been pretty lucky with it so far.
Yeah, I think every boat's, you've got maintenance to do.
Yeah, if things break, it's in the salt, and we're using it, like, all the time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a house, really, but on another level.
Then you've got you know, your engine, you've got your generator, you've got your water maker, you've got so many things that are taking in salt.
Yeah. And
salt just wrecks everything, so...
Yeah. But the boat was owned previously just by the one couple for like the last 20 years, I guess. So they looked after it quite well, and sailed it a lot, didn't motor a lot, so it had low engine hours. And they weren't liveaboard, so they didn't use it all year round. So it was in good nick, wasn't it? We were very happy with it, and still are very happy with it so far. So
just a bit dusty.
It's a bit gross on the outside, isn't it? Hadn't
been used for 2 years. It's a bit gross now.
Oh, a bit dusty when we bought it. Yeah. Yeah, it was sitting on the dry dock for 2 years due to COVID. They couldn't get over to the boat. It was on a dry dock in Greece, as you guys have seen. Are you full-time or part-time sailing?
We are full-time sailing at the moment.
Yep.
We've only got off the boat ever in the last 6 months or 7 months for 10 days.
Yeah, to go on holiday at Christmas, yeah. And if full-time, did you get rid of what you own? So we were actually living at Jason's mum's to save to do this, so we only had like a little bit of bedroom furniture and then both of the kind of things for our businesses. So we did sell everything, and we only came away with a couple of suitcases. So I think the only thing that I've got left is like half of my wardrobe still sitting at home, which I'm trying to sell.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, I think I'm giving up on that now. So yeah, we pretty much sold everything and just came with a few suitcases, which is pretty crazy.
If anyone wants any free clothes.
Free clothes?
Or
Come
cheap.
on, we're broke here. How much did you save to do it, and do you have an income stream? So we saved, including selling everything, so we sold both of our cars, which we had paid off, so we obviously got all of the money for those, and just like a few little bits and pieces from our businesses. We saved around about 190,000 Australian dollars. And then obviously we had flights and travel insurance that we booked with that. And then we actually went and did our day skipper, our IYA day skipper course, like right before we left. So that probably took like, I think it was like $3 or $4 grand total for both of us to do that. Yeah. And then obviously we purchased the boat and then left like a slush fund for maintenance, and then all of the rest was just to live off until we kind of started making money. So income stream, we only just started getting a little bit of money from YouTube. It's obviously not enough to live off at this point. But yeah, a month ago we started getting paid. So the last like 4 or 5 months we've had no money coming in.
Lived off our savings.
Yeah, which we still are basically living off our savings.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we are.
yeah, which is, we have to be so careful now. We're really trying to kind of get along until we hopefully are making enough to live off.
But it was a good feeling getting our first $5 come in on YouTube.
I think we had like, yeah, our first day we got like $3. We were so excited over it. I messaged my mum and told her, and she goes, oh well, it's better than a kick up the bum. Right. How the idea to sail came about. Kind of answered that already.
Yeah.
How we learnt to sail and the process of buying a boat. So we, a friend of ours actually suggested when he found out what we wanted to do to go over with a few people he knew to Thailand to do a sailing regatta. So it was kind of like a fun sail regatta. So that was the first thing we did. So,
we didn't learn too much. We learned how to drink a lot of alcohol. And we learnt they drink a lot of alcohol when they do those kind of regattas anyway.
Yeah, it was really fun, but because it's so fast paced and they're just trying to race, they don't really have time to teach you. So you can watch and learn, but it's like really confusing trying to take all of it in at once. I didn't learn pretty much anything.
Yeah, if you're a hands-on person and all you're doing is being waked the whole time, you're not going to learn much.
Or you're happy being screamed at.
or you're being screamed at if you do try and do something.
Thanks, Steve. So yeah, we did that first, and then maybe like 6 to 8 months later, we bareboat chartered a catamaran in the Whitsundays in Queensland, Australia, with a bunch of friends.
That's awesome.
So they give you like a 3 to 4 hour kind of lesson orientation thing on this, like at the start of the trip. So we paid the guy a little bit extra to spend a bit more time with us, kind of teaching us how to put the sails up and all of that. So we did a little bit of sailing.
They give you a lot of faith for not knowing much about sailing. Really.
Yeah, I mean, you have insurance, obviously, but...
I know, but...
Yeah. So we kind of mostly motored, but it's still good just to get used to like being on a boat, how things work. And then Jason had to dock up at Hamilton Island and then leave the dog, which was hilarious. It could have turned into a disaster, but luckily it didn't.
No, we'll sweet the whole time.
And we did have 8 of us, so 6 other people, so we kind of had a lot of people to help, like when we're picking up mooring balls and anchoring, and if like a situation got a bit sticky. So it wasn't really the same as us kind of doing it with just us two. And then obviously we knew that we were coming over to Europe to buy the boat, and then we decided that we would do the day skipper course because you need an ICC in Europe to sail. So we had to get the day skipper to be able to get the ICC. So we did that right before we left, which was good because then it was kind of fresh in our mind as well.
We were originally going to do it over in Greece when we got here.
Yeah, we thought about doing it, didn't we? But
then it was like so convenient that they had the dates free when we were going. It's
like meant to be,
yeah,
wasn't
it was literally felt like it was meant to be.
Yeah, but
And then we thought it might be better because you know, speaking English. We didn't know how well their English was going to be, so we thought
True.
it was going to be. We we're going to learn more in
Doing
Australia.
it in Australia,
than
yeah.
here. Which who knows if we did or not.
And so things you might do differently or wish you had. With learning, like.
The surveyor.
Oh, with the boat.
Oh, I don't know what their question is, but what I would have done differently was.
Oh, process of buying a boat, yeah.
We didn't. What's it called when you go on the water for a survey?
We didn't. I don't know, but we didn't put the boat in the water to do like an in-water survey.
Like test everything and make sure everything runs sweet, the sails and everything like that. We only did it on the dry dock, so they tested everything you possibly could, but yeah, it would have been good.
You don't get the full idea kind of thing.
Yeah, it would have been good to really, I guess, like we wouldn't have known if it sailed any better than any other boat anyway, but.
Yeah, the only thing is it's obviously, if it's on the dry dock, then it's kind of our responsibility really to pay for it to get in the water and then lifted back out again, so it ends up being pretty expensive.
But I'd highly recommend doing that, because then you spend more time on the boat, and you know what.
You can see how everything runs while you're actually in the water.
And you can put the sails up, make sure the sails are okay, and all the rigging and everything. Get a test out on everything, I guess.
But yeah, our survey was really good though. Like, he was super thorough anyway. So yeah, we're still happy with that, weren't we? It's not like we don't have the surveyor. We don't have any regrets because we didn't actually have anything go wrong, but obviously for a lot of people it could, so definitely recommend to do that, hey?
Yeah.
Any other regrets or things we'd do differently? Probably just trying to get a little bit more experience before we left, I would say. It was just hard because it was obviously COVID times. We were going to join a yacht club and then go out on like the Wednesday and do the yacht racing and stuff, which we don't really have any interest in racing, but it's just a good way to get experience with people and meet people that have boats that, you know, might want you to help do deliveries and things like that, but it just didn't happen, did it? So
we worked like
ridiculously
next level
hard.
Full time, like probably 60 hours a week.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of time to do anything.
Yeah, well, we had the goal in mind and it was
we were just saving.
Too hard, and then we're like, oh, we'll just learn as we go. But yeah, we've run into a few sticky situations
where you kind of, at the time, you're like, oh, I just wish I knew more, because this would be way less stressful if we weren't so inexperienced. But
the best way to learn is
chucking yourself in the deep end.
Chuck yourself in the deep end, and you've got no one else to ask what to do, so you've just got to do it yourself and figure it out. Yeah, just as long as you don't something really bad doesn't happen. But anyway. It must be hard sometimes to travel by boat, right? Not really.
It is, just in the way that when the weather's bad, it's obviously, you kind of have to work all of your plans around the weather. So obviously when there's been situations where we've had to leave a country because our visa's going to expire and we've only got a few days to get out, we've been really unlucky that like 2 times out of 2 times we've had bad weather. But we just really need to be more organised and actually get to the place where we're going to check out before the day we have to check out, so we actually have time on our hands. Yeah,
we're too busy in holiday mode, and we're still, 50 nautical miles away from where we need to check out, or 100. But yeah, we...
Look at your drink and look at mine.
I was never going to swap them over before. What was the question?
Oh, God. It must be hard to travel by boat sometimes, right?
The best thing about it is you've got autopilot. So when you're traveling from destination to destination,
it's not like you're driving in a car the entire time.
No, and a lot of the time the wind's going to stay the same direction if you're doing a 3-4 hour sail. So you can just literally put the sails up and
cruise along,
hit the autopilot, and you've got 2-3 hours just to chill and just keep watch and enjoy, really. Chuck music on. And
the only thing is, if you go and look like how long it takes sailing to get somewhere and then how long it would take you by car, it's like a
big
lot
difference.
longer.
You're only going 10 kilometres an hour, roughly.
Yeah, so if you want to cover a large part of a country and not go to islands, maybe you should just drive. But it's a more enjoyable way to do it. You take your house with you, so you've got like all the comforts of home to a certain degree. Yeah. We think it's a good way to do it, but obviously it's a risky way to do it as well. So. Do you guys get seasick?
I don't really myself, but you have a couple times.
I've never actually been sick, but I've been queasy a few times, especially if you come downstairs when you're moving to like try and make lunch or whatever. It's just not possible, which I think is pretty much everyone.
You've got to have your eye on the horizon the whole time.
Yeah.
If there's no like, you can't really see anything down here. Like you've got windows, but it's really hard to, keep your eyes on the horizon.
You can't watch where you're going. Yeah. But yeah, I don't actually get seasick. I just get a little bit kind of funny, and then I'll go, as soon as I feel like that, I'll go upstairs and sit upstairs, and within like 2 to 5 minutes I feel completely normal again.
Yeah.
Do a little burp, little air bubble will come up, and then I'm fine, I'm good to go. How cold is winter there? Okay, so we're currently in Turkey, and we're in a place called Fethiye, which is like one of the coldest places here. We just learnt the other day from some friends, Gojek, which is like 2 hours sail away, is like 8 degrees warmer than here, because here just has snowy mountains surrounding all of it. So
yeah, and when you get strong northerlies, you get the wind blowing off the mountains, so it really cools this place down.
Yeah, it's been cold, hasn't it? What have we had? So we had, for example, a couple of mornings ago, we actually had a little bit of snow on the boat.
Yeah,
so
it gets pretty cold. Like
yeah.
One stage it was getting to like -10 at night, which is cold, and then in the daytime we had a couple of days where it got to
only
like
a couple of degrees,
2 or 3 degrees.
Yeah.
But I think that was like, they were saying it's the coldest it's ever been around this area.
So it's not
or not ever, but like for a long time.
Not usually this cold, but still cold.
Yeah, but it's nicer now. It's getting...
starting to kind of, it's now start of February, so it's starting to get a little bit not so cold.
We're at like 10 to 12 degrees tops.
Yeah. But we haven't really been sailing too much the last couple of weeks, so it's obviously a lot colder when you're out sailing, because you're kind of creating your own wind. It feels colder. So
got all the elements against you.
Yeah. Where to after Turkey?
We are going to go back into Greece.
But I think we're going to do it, like, we're just going to do it quite quickly, aren't we? Like, maybe within a month, because we've obviously already done, like, 6 weeks there. Which, I mean, there's endless places to see, but it's not really going to be the most ideal time of year, and we do want to get across to other places in Europe, so...
Yeah, we're going to go Greece, Albania, Montenegro, Croatia, Italy, Tunisia.
That's the plan, but we don't actually know that.
Yeah, we're not...
It's not going to be solid.
It's not set in stone. But
yeah,
that's our plan.
Yeah.
And then hopefully go back into Spain after that, and then see how we go.
Yeah. What does it take to do this? Gas, food, repairs and such. How do you know when you should start is what I'm saying. That's such a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah,
we haven't really written down like what we spend every week on repairs and food and gas and all of that. But obviously our main expenses are food, which food is pretty much yeah, it's pretty much going to be whatever you spend at home. You can spend what you want to spend. Obviously places like Turkey, it's a lot cheap. Well, it's a little bit cheaper because there's a lot of markets around. It's really cheap to buy fresh produce. Gas, that depends how much you sail or motor. So what do you think we spend on like diesel every week? We probably fill up like every couple of weeks,
probably.
Hey? Yeah, a week. So yeah, and
50 to $70, but
then
we got the generator going quite a bit because we've only got 160 watts of solar, which has recently been installed.
Yeah, so we chew a little bit of diesel up for that as well.
But yeah,
so,
it's entirely on how you sail. But we'd probably roughly be spending like 500 a week, I reckon, Aussie at the moment, 400 to 500 maybe.
But where's that going? We still don't know, guys. We don't know what's happening. We're only supposed to be, we think we spend like $130 on food, $70 a week on diesel, and then we don't know where the other 200 to 300 goes. But we have had like, when we went into a marina, which our episodes are actually about 4 to 6 weeks behind, so you guys will see all of that. But we kind of bought a few things for the year or to fix things and whatever, because we know we won't be in a marina for a while. So we obviously spent a little bit more money there, and then I guess when we average it out over like however many weeks, that's just kind of what it ends up being.
Yeah, this worked out. This was for the marina for the month. We've bought a fridge for the boat. We've
done lots of maintenance.
A lot of maintenance.
Yeah, we bought some like
up.
random kitchen things and whatever else. So yeah, it really depends.
If you didn't want to do that, you could be
a lot more frugal for sure.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we're semi-frugal, but we're not like crazy frugal. We do go out for dinner like once or twice a week, or for a meal once or twice a week, and yeah. So, but honestly, if you feel like, so obviously get enough to buy your boat, and then leave yourself like, depending on what boat you get, but maybe like $20,000 slush fund, and then however much a year, and then however much kind of money you want to live off. But it obviously depends if you have a job that you can do, or I just think like as soon as you have it, just do it.
Yeah.
You've got to take a risk at some point too. Like we could have just kept saving forever and ever and not felt like we had enough money, but there's a point where you're like, stuff it, we're just going to do it and hope for the best, and usually the risks pay off. So we still didn't feel like we had enough money, but we were just ready to go, weren't we?
Yeah.
We didn't want to miss out on summer either, so we tried to get over here before summer ended, because otherwise we might as well have just waited kind of like almost a whole nother year, which we didn't want to wait that long. So
and the other thing is, don't buy your boat in the middle of the summer. There's literally no boats available to buy. That was what we've found.
Yeah, we kind of came at a bad time. You should either come like March, April, May at the latest.
Start of the season.
Or after. So what, like
after,
October, November.
After the season.
Anywhere from there.
After the season's probably the best time to buy, because
there's so many charter boats they're trying to get rid of.
If you want to buy a charter boat, but you know, it's the end of the season, people are finished, they don't want to do any more maintenance to their boat, they don't want to put their boat in a yard or anything like that, or in a marina, so you're probably going to get a better price if you buy at the end of the season to the start.
We kind of had trouble, didn't we? Like there wasn't much around, and we struggled a little bit. We got lucky with this one. We also had a boat that we did basically almost buy, and then
fell through on their end.
Yeah, the sellers kind of didn't do the right thing or whatever. So yeah, it wasn't easy. Okay. When you plan to go somewhere, what is it based on? Season?
Not at the moment, but it will be, kind of.
Yeah. So we wouldn't have technically chosen to really do Turkey or anywhere in winter. We'd obviously love to like cross to the Caribbean at this time of year, but
just weren't confident enough.
Yeah, we obviously really knew at sailing, so it wasn't really a possibility. So our choices that we had recommended were either Turkey or like Sicily. So we just decided to. Well, also it's because of the visas. That's kind of really what we based it on for Europe, isn't it?
We've only got 90 days allowed in the Schengen area, which is basically all of Europe except
most of Europe,
Croatia, Montenegro, and Albania.
Yeah, and then Turkey, which is kind of not really Europe. Well, it's kind of half Europe. I don't really know, but yeah. So we kind of base it on the visas, and then obviously the time of year, I suppose you could say as well. So.
A lot of people winter in Turkey because it's not part of the Schengen area, and
so they can get out for their 3 months, and it's also really easy to get a residency.
Yeah, it's really easy to get residency.
So all you pretty much need is like a marina contract or something like that, which you can get cheap if you do it kind of longer term, like 12 months or 6 months or whatever. So
and it's very cheap here to live. And the people are beautiful. Everything's quite beautiful about this place.
Yeah, everyone's so friendly. This is the friendliest place we've ever been in the world.
Yeah.
So the camera cut us off, typical. We've obviously been talking for too long.
We had a look at it. We got 29 minutes in and the camera cut out. The battery died.
So yeah, we've only got a couple of questions to go anyway now. Do you plan on journeying back to Australia in the old girl? That would be impressive.
We'd love to, but I think our main goal is the Caribbean for now. We'll see how we go.
Yeah, but that would be the ultimate goal, to bring it back to Australia, travel, circumnavigate Australia, and then we can have like friends and family come on with us. And
we'd love to do Asia too before we go to Australia.
We just want to do everywhere. Let's not lie.
Yeah, we want to get around.
You got to aim high for sure. Tips on how to start sailing.
RYA, do your day skipper. That's a must, especially if you want to sail around this area, because you need your ICC.
Yeah.
Legally. What's another one?
Join your local yacht club if you're close to one. Obviously not everyone lives near the coastline, but That's kind of what we planned to do. It was just a bit hard with COVID. So they usually do kind of race days once a week that you can join. And then I guess you just get to know people, and then there's people that own boats and things like that, so you can jump on with them, do deliveries, do weekend sales and things like that. So I think, yeah, we should have really done a little bit more of that. We would have felt much more experienced to start, because there's been a few situations where I've been quite scared and wish that I knew more when things don't go well.
Janae's cried about 10 times, I reckon. We get 2 metre swells and she cries.
Piss off. When things don't go well though, I honestly just think to myself, like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. Like, I'm not like a big risk taker with like things like that. I do get scared.
We've had a few sticky situations.
Yeah.
But we've learnt, and
yeah, you learn. That's the thing. Those situations, as bad as they are, you learn so much from them. You're like, all right, we know what we're going to do differently next time. Or it gives you a kick up the bum to like get yourself sorted with spares for things that you didn't realise that you didn't have. Like,
we've got so much spares in this boat now from what happened to us a couple of weeks ago. Yeah,
you guys will see it in an upcoming episode. We didn't actually film a lot because it was a bit of a disaster, but we will explain kind of what happened. But after that as well, I actually went and bought like 2 big folders and filed every single manual or everything that we had on the boat to do with the boat, all in alphabetical order, so it was easy to find, because it's always in situations like that where you go to look for the manual, you can't find it, and there's like papers everywhere.
We still can't find that manual.
Yeah, the manual that we needed, we still can't find, and Jason said that he saw it somewhere, so don't know where it is. So
must have blown off the boat.
Probably. It was meant to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, all done with the Q&A.
It?
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you. Do I have to do another shot?
Yeah. We finished the video earlier and Jason decided to do a shot. And it didn't even get on film, so I think you should maybe do another one.
There was another question, actually. Are we on OnlyFans?
There was a few stupid questions that we got.
Yes, we are. I'll send you the link.
No,
we're not. Not yet. Not unless we get really broke.
We also got a question from... Are you kidding? We also got a question from Jason's brother-in-law. How are you guys going without an air fryer? Not very good.
No, we could do with one, but...
Yeah.
Probably have to use the generator a bit more than we want to.
We just don't have room for stuff like that, unfortunately. No, I'd love it.
You've been doing an absolute treat in the kitchen. You've been
I've been doing a treat.
Yeah, well, every meal that comes out is like 10 out of 10. I've got a Michelin chef on board.
That's what he tells everyone. And then he embarrasses me because they think he's serious. I'm like, I'm not, guys.
She's a pretty good chef. She's not an actual chef, but...
Actually, I was thinking of doing some boat cooking episodes, but I'll do them separate so that the people don't want to watch that stuff can just not watch them if they don't want to. So let me know what you guys think about doing that, and I'll hurry up and get my butt around to doing it because I've been lazy with it. So
let us know if you guys let us know in the comments below if you want a boat tour or not.
They want a boat tour. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. Bye.